Yo, YouTube. So I already recorded this video and I tried to edit it, and there was like a lot of pauses, and like that's fine, right? I was gonna edit it and stuff and edit the pauses out, make it like a nice, concise video. But I fidget a lot, I move the screen and the mouse a lot, and it just felt jarring, the cuts. So I'm recording again. Not that you guys care, but I just wanted to say that. But anyway, today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I made this ar&b beat. And you can take what I say and what I did and use it to make your own beats and little tips and tricks and whatever, right? I actually made this beat after watching Benjicold's Relying on Roxy breakdown video, so I definitely recommend watching that. If you don't know, Benjicold created this genre, and in that video he basically explained that the reason it's called Asian rock and blues is because it's inspired by like anime sort of rock intro music, like that sort of stuff. Not even just anime, of course, there's like J-rock or whatever, stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure what parts of what exact genres he took inspirations from, but yeah. So I watched that video and then I kept that in mind when I was making this beat. Anyway, okay, so let's get into it. First, I got a guitar from Xenology, bass guitar, and I did this. As you can see, it's this pattern. It's like very repetitive. The only thing that really changes is these notes and then this. And I actually used this as the bass note, but the bass note would actually be, I think, F sharp for this chord specifically. But I used C and it works in this whatever, right? This is in E minor, I believe. A lot of my beats in general, but especially ar&b, are in E minor just because I like it. And specifically, I like doing this chord because like the F sharp and the E. Because if you do this down, it's like they're right next to each other, right? So that creates a lot of tension, and when you play it, it sounds really nice. Okay, so I'll play it by itself just so you can hear it. So as you can hear, it's very repetitive, especially the top line, right? And then these sort of change a little bit as well, and it's the descending bass pattern. And then I got these like little stabs, which they stand out more in the other layers. I don't know exactly what kind of beats. I know the beats in my head, but I don't know like how to describe them. I think it's like young boy beats or like maybe like Flint beats. I'm not exactly sure, but I got this inspiration. I just felt it, like it felt hard, and that's what I was going for, Okay, so this is a piano layer. It's called Bright Piano on Xenology again. I really like using Xenology for a lot of this stuff. Purity is good as well. So is Expand. I think I use Expand, so we'll get into that later. But yeah. This layer really brings in that sort of like hard, like this like a young boy sound, right? It's only a layer, so it's not like the main sound, but it does have it in the background a little bit. It gives that like aggressiveness. I really do like it, but it also does kind of sound like an anime intro, kind of in some sort of ways. Like I can imagine like people like someone singing over it. This one is called Jazz Guitar Hall. I think it's just another guitar, probably like a smoother one, I think, if I remember correctly. Again, from Xenology. All the chord like layers are from Xenology. Yeah, this just sort of to fill the mix, and it's quite like wide and it's like very warm, just make it feel a little bit more full. Okay, so next I got this bass from Triton, E bass finger. To be honest, this isn't really that necessary. It was just because I started out by making the loop first. I left it for like a day or two, then I gave back and I added a drum, so I just added a bass, but you don't really hear it or even really feel it, to be honest. But this is what it sounds like. It's the bass. It's going, well, like I said, it's not actually going completely on the root notes because this should be actually F sharp, I believe. I can't remember, but I checked it last time, like in the last recording. But yeah, I end up using C, and it sounds, I preferred that sound because it's like descending. So yeah. Next, I got a preset called Crunch Split in Xenology. I think it's just like an electric guitar. It's just playing the top line, it's repeating it's the same notes as this, it's just an octave higher, adds a little bit of variation. One thing I do want to mention is like these notes here. They sound, when it's soloed, it kind of sounds weird, right? It's like dissonance, but well, not even dissonance, it's just clashing. But when it actually isn't played, I don't know, it gives like a, you don't fully hear it, you just hear it like a little bit, and it really sounds like a real guitar. I really like it. You'll hear it when I play the full beat. Okay, yeah, so next I got Expand, like I mentioned earlier. Triple attack. It's like a very thick, like electric guitar and expander. I really recommend it, and I love Expand's electric guitars. They're really good. Yeah, it's just like a nice growl, you know. I think I cut out some of the low end and stuff. A lot of these have like effects, but I won't really mention them. Flanger is used a lot, so especially on the acoustic guitars, add a flanger on it. Just the default setting will work. But yeah, I wanted to leave like a little bit of space so it wouldn't just be, you know, it's like almost like you're striking the guitar, like vroom. It's like the reverb and vroom, you know. This is the digitubular bell from Purity. I won't bother showing it because you guys should know it. If you don't know it, it's the yeat bell. You can get like one shots of it as well. Like it's a very popular thing. Like, I don't need to show. It's called the digitubular in Purity. Yeah, so yeah, again, it's just copying the bass notes except for this little triplet thing here. And I did add flanger on it because I have found out I do like when I add a flanger on the yeat bell. Now we come to the izaya bells. What I have done in this, only in this recent ar&b beat, I didn't know about it until just now, and I really love it. It's like layering some of them just like this. I don't know, it gives it like, you get me? It's like, it sounds so sick. Oh yeah, when you do use stuff like this, it's gonna be a one shot most likely. Make sure you come here and do this, just so you can get that sort of like, so it doesn't like bleed into them. It's like you can get the starter and stuff, you know. It works really nicely. Next I got I think these are strings in Xenology. Yeah, it's called the 8x pizzicato strings. I layered these with like something else. I think the next thing I'm gonna show. It sounds really good with them. Kind of sounds solo, but it's not about how it sounds solo, it's about how it sounds as a collective, as a beat. So yeah, it's just like a rising sort of thing. Kind of helps transition a little bit and gives variety for when it loops here. It's really nice. And then also because for a lot of the patterns, this second half is high, like an octave higher, so it kind of helps it rise up, you know. Okay, so next is this radio lead. I've heard that it's like stock with Xenology, but honestly I can't seem to find it. So I had like a Asianrock kit. No, I had a New Jazz kit actually, but this is like a very ar&b sort of preset. I mean, they are closely related in some ways, so makes sense, but it's from a New Jazz kit, so I just dragged it in, and it's for Xenology. But you should be able to find it somewhere. In this like specific one, it's, as you can see, it's kind of like messed up. It doesn't have the thingies, and like this note goes like messes up sometimes because it's too high pitched. So I would recommend finding the proper preset if you can, but I had to make do with what I could find, and it worked pretty decently, so I used it. Let me play it. This is what layers, I believe, with pizzicato strings, and then it carries on a little bit. That actually worked perfectly this time. Usually that note kind of fades out, kind of, but it worked great. And as you, if you remember the with the pizzicato strings. Next, I got another preset that I'm not gonna bother showing because it is just the PW for President preset, which is like very popular. It's used a lot in pluggnb and I think in ar&b as well, and in like the old Shay songs, like the back when he was Shay Romani, like the Agenda and Agenda 2 and whatever. It's used a lot in that. And it just sort of helps, it's basically what happens here, but a little bit quicker, and it helps like transition back to the beginning, and it like has a lot of delay as well. So it continues even after it loops. Okay, so this one is a flute from Purity. I will show it because it is kind of, it's not as commonly well known. It's in GM normal shakuhachi. I don't, my accent doesn't work with it, but yeah, it's this one. I added a flanger to it. I think it just gives it, again, this ar&b vibe. I think ar&b uses a lot of flanger because whenever I put it on stuff, it just sounds good. And chorus as well, but mainly flanger. Okay, so next we come to the drums. I first started for snap. just repeated. And I think for the drums, I'm gonna just go like into the playlist view, just so it's a bit easier. That's a snap, and then I added a clap. Just a standard sort of clap pattern. The middle and then the second and fourth one have this little bit here, just for a little bit of rhythm. A chant. Again, repeated. A hat. It's this sort of like basic plug pattern of this basically, right? Like you do two, you miss one, do and miss one, and it's just like this. It's like very like scattered and empty kind of, but like really bouncy. But what I would recommend for the rolls is you come up here to this magnet, put it on 137, and just do these. And then sometimes I often do 4 instead of 3, but it kind of sounds better. But for this beat, I did only 3, and to be honest, I should have done 4. Then I have a open hat. Sort of offbeat here a little bit, bouncy, you know. Okay, so what I did here, I kind of made a mistake. I used the Benji snare, but I was meant to use the perk, the Benjicold perk. I don't know, I just messed up. I mean, it still sounds good, but to be honest, it would have sounded better if I used the Benji perk. So I would recommend you don't make the same mistakes. Again, basically the same thing as the hi-hat, but you just go crazy with it. Benjicold is known for using like a lot of rolls. You can like do stuff like this. I didn't do it for this beat, but you do stuff like this where it like goes down. You can do like different pitches. I just kept it simple. I think I probably would have gone more crazy if I was using the proper perk, not the snare, but it is what it is. I added this xangang perk, which I love. If you couldn't hear it, it's that. And then I added this snare here also for like bounce. Then I used the classic Benji plugg sort of 808 sound. I was thinking about having 2 808s, like starting with this and then having like a long thumpy one. But first of all, the melody was already like so complicated and it had so much going on. I didn't want to also add this. So I just kept it simple. It's a short, nice, plucky 808, so it doesn't do too much, doesn't distract too much, and it's really nice. Also, again, I made a mistake of like, I mean, it is plucky, so it doesn't make too much of a difference, but I probably should have extended it a bit more so it doesn't cut out as much, because I am doing the attack thing. It's a box, so it does matter how I structure it at this, but it sounds good anyway because it is a plucky one. I'm just lucky it wasn't a long one. As you can hear, like, it would have been nice if it was like this. Try that. Yeah, that would have sounded a lot better if I did that. You know, for future reference, make sure sometimes you're rushing and you kind of mess up stuff like this. And if you can't really notice it in the full beat, it's not really important. But when you do come in and do breakdowns like this, it does, it stands out. This sort of like arrangement, very common in R&B beats. I had a transition, I had the chains, and I had that, my tag, and then this pitch tick. What you do with the pitch tick is you put it in a mixer track, you put delay 2 on it, or whatever delay, but I prefer delay 2. You put ping pong. You can lower the volumes a little bit, but you can keep them on stock as well. They're not too bad, just a little bit. You can lower them as well though, but the important part is you put it on 8, and ping pong, that's important as well, but you put it on the time 8, and that will just make it so it waits until it's done. So like the delay will start here and then here and then here, so it's like, it's continuous. And if you are wondering about all these sounds, I am working on like a drum kit, stash kit type thing, where I will have all the sounds that I use, so including all these and stuff like that. I am working on it right now. I don't know when it's going to be ready, so unfortunately, yeah, but I'll make a video. I'll make probably several videos about it, and I might even put it in the comments here or whatever, but it's going to be some time. I'll play the full beat to close out the video.